Hi guys! We've got a test tomorrow, so here is the practice exam. Level 0.5, these are just the definitions of the rules. So, anything to the 0 power is 1. The second one is a negative rule. And it says that you need to flip it from the numerator or the denominator, whichever one it's currently not in. So this is secretly in the numerator. So to flip it, you're going to put it in the denominator and make it positive. Oh, that says 1 over x to the 8th, positive 8. Alright, next one, product rule. This says you have 3 x's being multiplied together with another 2 x's. So, you have x to the 5th. Alright, D is a power rule, not to be confused with product. See how product has 2 bases, 2 x's, and the power only has 1, with an exponent to another exponent. So a power to a power. So this says you have 3 chunks of 2 x's each, so you have 6 x's. This one, quotient, you got 2 x's on top, 3 on the bottom. When you cross out, you will have 1 left over on the bottom in the denominator. Alright, and this is level 1, so I'm going to, you do that, and then your x's, and then your y's. So, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 5 x's on top, 2 on the bottom. Cross, cross, you have 3 left on the top. 9 y's on the top, 7 y's on the bottom. Cross, cross, you get y squared left over in the numerator. Alrighty. 6. This is a product rule. The previous one was a quotient. So the product, you're going to multiply those, add those, and add these. So 6 times 3, 6, 12, 18. 3 a's and then another 2 a's, 5. B to the 8th times b to the 3rd, b to the 11th. Product. Quotient. Alrighty. Ooh, my favorite. Here's a 0 rule. The 0 makes everything inside the parentheses just turn into 1. And then 1 times 3a squared is just 3a squared. Alright, now we've got a power. So the 2 gets applied to the coefficient and to the other base. So 5 squared, 25, not to be confused with 10, which is the most common mistake. And then there's only 1, and then 1a here. And this chunk of 5 and a get multiplied by itself twice. So 2 a's. 0 and power. Alright, the last one is the negative rule, and it says you take this and move it down. So you've got 5a squared stays on the top, and then b to the 9th on the bottom. Alright, level 2. So, quotient rule says I'm going to divide those, subtract those, multiply it, the numbers with that, and then add the y's with that y. So let's get started. 6 divided by 2 is 3. X cubed divided by x to the 2nd is just x. And y to the 5th divided by y squared is y cubed times 8y cubed. So multiply this and this, and add this and this. And nothing will happen to that x because it doesn't have any partners to do anything with. So 3 times 8, 8, 16, 24. X, y, is that going to be 9, the new exponent, or 6? Well, it's a power, or no, it's not a power rule, it's a product rule, so you're going to add them. because this is saying 3y's are being multiplied together by another 3y's. So altogether, 6. Alright, we've got, for these, I always suggest simplifying the insides first. You get the same answer if you distribute this 3 throughout all of these bases, but it's faster to simplify the x's first and the y's first. So, I noticed that there are more x's on the top and more y's on the top, so it's going to knock out all of these. There's going to be nothing in the denominator, so I'll write it big. We didn't do anything with the 3. There are 3 x's left over when you cross out. There are 2 y's left over, and all still being given to the exponent. Now we do this 3 times this 3, this x, and this y. And we get 3 times 3 times 3, 27. X to the 9th, y to the 6th. Because power rule says you multiply. And then there's no bases that are the same, so we're finished. Alright. We got a -4 times a 4. And then, I'll do it your guys' way. The x plus that x, the y, and that y. So -4 times 4, -16. X to the 5th plus x to the 9th, -9th, x to the -4th. Y to the 8th times y squared into the -2, y to the 6th. Now last thing is that this is negative, so it needs to be dragged down. So -16 times y to the 6th divided by x to the 4th. That looks terribly ugly. It says -16 y to the 6th times x to the 4th. Alrighty. Simplify the end. Oops, I did that the wrong color, but oh well. And simplify with the quotient rule. We get 3 times a cubed over b to the 6th to the -3rd. This -3 exponent says what? Flip it and make it positive. So, we're going to flip everything on the insides. So, we get 3 times b to the 6th divided by a cubed and to the +3. Now we take this and give it to the b and to the a. So 3b to the 16th over, wait, that's not right, 6, 12, 18. 18 and all over a to the 9th. Notice that we apply the power as a power, making this 27 when it's a coefficient. However, when we apply power to a variable base with an exponent, we just multiply. Don't fall for thinking that you do the same thing for the coefficient and the exponent, because they're treated differently. Alrighty, we're almost done. So here on level 3 we've got a quotient. Oh, just a minute. Okay, we're back. So quotient rule, going to simplify those x's. Quotient rule, simplify these y's. Power rule, give it to the 4, to the x, and the y. And then, last one, negative rule, take this x to the -5 and move it up. So, here we go. 5 divided by 15, 3. X to the 4th divided by x squared. Y to the 6th divided by y to the 4th, y squared. Now I'm going to leave the power, this top part, to the last, just because I want to, and you can do this in any order that you want. Y cubed. Alright, now we're ready to do the power. So, since it's multiplication, I can just elongate this fraction bar because they're all being multiplied. So 4 squared, I almost just wrote 25. What? Okay. So 16, and then x squared y to the 6th. Now, I can't do anything with this because 16 is not divisible evenly by 3, so I'm just going to write 16 and 3. So I got it. Then I'm going to combine the x's. I've got 2 and 5, which is 7, and 2 more. So 9, x to the 9th. Got it. And then y squared, y cubed, y to the 6th. Well, y squared and y to the 6th is y to the 8th. But y to the 8th divided by y cubed is y to the 5th. And then, got that. Everything's crossed out, so I know I've got everything, and that is the answer. Level 3, letter B. Simplify those. Ooh, I love a zero rule. Just cross it out. This y comes down. This x to the 4th comes up. Let's do, well, we can also simplify these x's with this one. Well, I'm not going to do that part yet. Oops. And then these y's. And then just rewrite. So, 25 divided by negative 5 is negative 5 on top. Got it. X to the 12th divided by x to the 9th, x cubed, leftovers on top. Got it. Y to the 11th divided by y to the 5th, y to the 6th, leftovers on top. Gonna do this x, so x to the negative 4th comes up top and becomes positive. Then we've got the 10 divided by 5. Well, 10 divided by 5 is 2, so times 2. Got it. I will bring my y to the negative 5th down and make it positive, y to the positive 5th. Now the only two things I have left are x to the 8th and y squared. So I'll just write them up here, x to the 8th and y squared. Got it? Got it. Alright, now everything's crossed out, so I know I'm good to go. I have one more swing of simplification to do. Got all these x's, and I got all these y's. So, negative 5 times 2, negative 10. Oh. Alright, got it. Now the x's. X cubed times x to the 4th is x to the 7th. And x to the 7th times x to the 8th, x to the 15th. So I've got my x's. I'm going to think about these bottom y's first. The y's in the denominator, 5 of them here, 2 of them here, so 7. 6 on top, so when you cross out, 6 of them will cancel, and you'll have 1 left over on the bottom. Cross, cross, cross. And that, my friends, is a level 3. Let's move up to the radical expressions. So, level 1. Let's do this in blue. We're looking for perfect squares, but the other way is just to do prime factorization where everything goes down. I like that way, so I'm going to do it that way. You can do it whatever way you want. 2, and 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 2's and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So remember that these can come out in groups of 2. Why? Because the square root says you have to find the things that, well, let me just write up here. The square root of 25 is like writing the square root of 5 times 5, which is just 5. Now what actually happened is that you take it out in pairs in groups of 2, and it comes out, oh, that's supposed to be a 5. And it comes out just as itself. And if there's nothing left over in the radical, then the radical disappears, so that would be the answer. So, I'm going to erase all this. Maybe. And this comes out as a 2. This comes out as a 2. This has to stay because it has no partner to come out with. And so the final answer is 2 times 2, which is 4. And what's still trapped under the radical? A 5. So if you put that in your calculator, 4 times the square root of 5, you'll get the same thing as if you put in the square root of 80. Let's try 48. 48. 2 times 24. 24 is 2 times 12. 12 is 2 times 6. And 6 is 2 times 3. So we have a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 3. Oh my gosh, it's almost the exact same as the previous one, huh? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 3. Comes out as a 2, comes out as a 2. We're left with a 3 underneath the radical, has to stay. What broke out of the radical is 2 times 2, which is 4 times the square root of 3. Let's go to level 2. Ooh, this is like saying 8 x's. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they come out as an x, as an x. This one comes out as an x, x. And there's nothing at all left in the radical because they all had partners to come out with. So it's just simply x to the 4th. Bam. Because 4 x's came out. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Comes out in a pair as an x, comes out as a pair, in a pair as an x, comes out in a pair as a y, comes out as a y, comes out as a y, has to stay. So, final answer, x squared times y cubed times the square root of y. Easy, right? Level 3. Only thing that's different is that it has a coefficient and an exponent. But it's just the same. 18, 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. So, 2, 3, and 3. So, boom, boom, 2 times 3 times 3 times 4 x's. Well, here's a pair, comes out as a 3. Here's a pair, comes, oh, I almost just wrote 2. It's an x. Comes out as an x. Final answer, 3 times x, aka x squared, times the square root of 2. $40, 2 times 20, 2 times 10, 2 times 5. We have 2, 2, 2, and 5. 2, 2, 2, 5, times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y's. Comes out as a 2. No partners. Comes out as an x. x.
5 seconds.
Okay, sorry for that interruption. Doesn't have a partner, so it has to stay. Comes out as a y. As a y. As a y. Okay, now it's getting kind of hard to see, so I'm going to highlight the things that had to stay. So what came out? Only a 2, and then 2 x's right here, and then 1, 2, 3 y's. What had to stay? 2 times 5, which is 10, and an x. And then that's it. Alright, good luck guys. You got this.